So paper 1, question 3 this time. We've got binomial expansion to do. So first of all, we're going to consider that binomial expansion of 2 minus px to the power of 6. Okay, we'd have the coefficients 6 choose 0, which would just be 1, 2 to the power of 6, and then negative px to the power of 0. So I'm not even going to write that bit down because it's to the power of 0. Then we'd have the coefficient 6 choose 1, and this time 2 to the power of 5, and then negative px to the power of 1. Then our next coefficient would be 6 choose 2. We'd have 2 to the power of 4 because that power is decreasing, and then the negative px to the power of 2. Now that's our x squared term there, isn't it? So we don't need to go any further. So simplifying that, we've got 6 choose 0, which is 1, 2 to the power of 6, which is 64. Then we've got a 6 choose 1, which is 6, a 2 to the power of 5, which is 32, and then a negative px to the power of 1, which we didn't need the power of 1. We've then got a 6 choose 2, which is 15. We've got a 2 to the power of 4, which is 16. And then a negative px all squared, which with the negative when it's squared becomes positive. So we've just got a p squared and an x squared there. Okay, tidying that up one little bit more, we've got 64 plus 6 times 32 is 192, but we've got a negative in there, so I'm actually going to rub out this positive and go with negative 192px. Okay, then we've got 15 times 16, that's 240. This is calc free, so you're going to have to be pretty careful and savvy with your arithmetic, but we get that. Okay, now the question gives us 64 plus x plus 135x squared, and what we want to do is compare. We want to compare both of these equations. So what we know is that the negative 192, that's the coefficient of the x, negative 192p, has got to be equal to a. Okay, because this coefficient here has got to be equal to that one. Okay, we also know that the coefficient of the x squared, which is 240p squared, has got to be equal to the coefficient of the x squared here, 135. Now, in this first equation, we've got two unknowns, p and a. Can't do anything with that just yet. But in the second yellow equation, I've just got one unknown, p. So what I know is that p squared is going to be 135 over 240. Again, this is calc free, so it's testing you a little bit, but there's a common factor there of 15. 15 goes into 135 9 times. Might take you a little bit to work that out, but you should be able to do it with that calculator. 240 divided by 15, that's 16. So then to get p, we need to square root that. Okay, so when we square root that, we get 3 on 4. Now, normally when we square root something, when it's p squared equals and we square root to get p, we would put a plus or minus. But it does say in the question that p is greater than 0, so we're not going to include the negative. So we know what p is. It's 3/4. So now once we know what p is, we go, well, that a is going to be 192 times 3/4 will equal a. So again, we don't have a calculator. We need to work that out. So we're going to go 192 divided by 4 and then times by 3, not forgetting that negative. And you're just going to have to do your best with the arithmetic again. Negative 144 is what you will come out with. Okay? And that was the answer to that 7-mark question.